Have you ever wondered about the complexities of the human personality? Today, we dive into the intriguing world of Type D personalities. Imagine a personality type characterized by two primary traits: distress and social inhibition. This is the world of Type D individuals, a world that is often misunderstood and misinterpreted due to its unique characteristics. This personality type is not as black and white as it may seem. It's a blend of shades, an intricate tapestry woven with threads of emotion and social interaction, or rather, the lack of it. Distress is a key player in this personality type. It's like a constant companion for Type D individuals, shadowing their thoughts, feelings, and actions. But what does this mean? It means they often experience negative emotions, including sadness, worry, and irritation. These emotions, while a part of the human experience, are heightened in Type D personalities, often leading to a state of chronic emotional stress. The second defining trait is social inhibition. In simple terms, this means that Type D individuals often hold back when it comes to social interactions. They may seem reserved, quiet, or even aloof. This is not because they lack interest in others, but rather because they fear rejection or disapproval. This fear can create a barrier, preventing them from expressing themselves fully and actively participating in social situations. These two traits, distress and social inhibition, are like two sides of the same coin. They influence each other, creating a cycle that can be difficult to break. The distress fuels the fear of social interaction, and the social inhibition further fuels the distress by limiting opportunities for emotional expression and connection. Understanding the Type D personality is like decoding a complex puzzle. It requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to look beyond the surface. It's about recognizing that their behavior is not a choice, but a result of their inherent personality traits. It's about acknowledging their struggles and appreciating their unique perspective. Understanding these traits is the first step towards navigating relationships with Type D individuals. How does emotional distress become a weapon in the hands of a Type D narcissist? Well, let's dive into this. Type D narcissists are adept at using emotional distress as a manipulative tool. They thrive on control, and one way they achieve this is by exploiting emotional distress, particularly in relationships with women. Imagine a puppeteer pulling strings. That's a Type D narcissist in action. They can turn on the distress like a faucet, using it to manipulate situations to their favor. They might play the victim, exaggerate their problems, or provoke guilt, all in an attempt to control the narrative and gain an upper hand. These tactics can be subtle yet incredibly damaging, fostering a cycle of emotional turmoil. It's like being caught in a labyrinth of manipulation, where every turn seems to lead back to the puppeteer. But there's hope. Recognizing these tactics can help in shielding oneself from their manipulative influences. So stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of Type D personalities. Expressing emotions is a fundamental human need, but what happens when this becomes a challenge? For those with Type D personalities, this is a daily reality. The world may view their distress and social inhibition as mere shyness, but it's more complex than that. It's like being stuck in a room with no doors, where emotions are trapped with no way out. This inability to express feelings doesn't just affect them internally, it also impacts their relationships. It's like speaking different languages with no translator. They may want to share their feelings, but instead they retreat, creating a chasm of misunderstanding and frustration. And it's not that they don't feel emotions. Quite the contrary. They feel deeply, but the fear of rejection or judgment holds them back. They may even bury their feelings so deep that they lose touch with them, leading to a sense of isolation and loneliness. Understanding this struggle can pave the way for better communication and empathy. Passive aggressiveness can be a complex puzzle to decode. Picture this: a Type D personality, characterized by distress and social inhibition, can often resort to passive-aggressive behaviors. This is a way of expressing discontent or dissatisfaction indirectly. Instead of clear, straightforward communication, they might use subtle tactics like procrastination, forgetfulness, or deliberate inefficiency. In relationships, these behaviors can create a confusing and frustrating dynamic. The other person may feel like they're walking on eggshells, unsure of what might trigger an unexpected reaction. This can lead to a cycle of misunderstanding and resentment, with one person feeling unheard and the other feeling misunderstood. Understanding these behaviors is crucial. It's not about blaming or labeling the type D individual as bad or wrong. Instead, it's about recognizing these behaviors for what they are: a form of communication, albeit an indirect one, from someone who struggles with emotional expression and social interaction. Being aware of these behaviors can be a key to maintaining personal peace and harmony. Could there be hidden narcissistic traits within the distressed thinking of type D personalities? Let's delve in. Covert narcissism is often concealed in the distressed thinking of type D personalities, hidden behind their socially inhibited and distressed demeanor. While they may appear shy or reserved, these individuals can harbor a sense of superiority and entitlement, just like overt narcissists. This can manifest as a quiet arrogance, where they believe their problems are unique and more serious than those of others. They may also show a lack of empathy, finding it challenging to understand or relate to the feelings of others. It's not that they don't care, but their own distress can make it difficult for them to focus on anyone else's needs. And remember, they may utilize passive-aggressive tactics, subtly undermining others while avoiding direct conflict. This can create a confusing dynamic where their actions contradict their words. Recognizing these traits can help in managing interactions with type D individuals more effectively. Boundaries act as a safeguard in relationships, but how do you set them with a type D narcissist? It's a question that's likely been on your mind, and we're here to help answer it. Firstly, it's essential to understand that setting boundaries isn't about changing the other person or their behavior. It's about taking control of your own well-being and how you allow others to treat you. So, when dealing with a type D narcissist, remember that it's not your responsibility to alter their distress or social inhibition. Your job is to protect your emotional health. Now let's dive into some strategies for setting clear boundaries. Firstly, recognize your personal limits. These are unique to each individual and are often influenced by your past experiences and personal beliefs. Identifying your limits is a critical first step in establishing boundaries. Secondly, be direct and clear about your boundaries. With type D narcissists, it's crucial to be explicit about what you are and aren't comfortable with. Be assertive yet respectful in expressing your needs and expectations. Thirdly, don't forget the power of no. It's a complete sentence in itself and a vital tool in your boundary-setting toolkit. Remember, you don't need to justify, explain, or apologize for your boundaries. Lastly, consistency is key. Consistently enforcing your boundaries helps communicate that you're serious about them. It's okay to remind the other person if they overstep, and it's okay to walk away if they persistently disrespect your boundaries. Remember, setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being selfish or unkind. It's about self-respect and ensuring that your emotional needs are met. It may feel uncomfortable at first, especially when dealing with a type D narcissist, but with practice and persistence, it becomes easier. In this journey, don't forget to be kind to yourself. Setting boundaries is challenging, and it's okay to stumble along the way. What's important is that you're taking steps towards safeguarding your emotional well-being. Establishing boundaries is a crucial step towards maintaining a healthy relationship dynamic. By setting clear boundaries, you're empowering yourself and taking control of your emotional health. It's a brave and necessary step, one that paves the way for healthier, more respectful relationships. Communication is the lifeblood of relationships, but what if it becomes a challenge? In the world of type D personalities, inhibited social behavior can often lead to communication hurdles. This can be a tricky terrain to navigate, particularly in relationships. It's like trying to decode a complex language, where the words are shrouded in distress and inhibition. But worry not, because every challenge presents an opportunity for growth. The first step towards overcoming these hurdles is understanding. Recognize that a type D individual might struggle with expressing their emotions openly. They might prefer solitude over social interactions, or find it hard to articulate their thoughts effectively. So how can we bridge this communication gap? Empathy is key. Try to see the world from their perspective. Be patient, give them the space they need. Use open-ended questions to encourage them to express themselves. Remember, it's not about changing them, but about adapting to their communication style. Overcoming these communication challenges can bring a wave of positive change in relationships with type D individuals. Early warnings can be a lifesaver. But what are these signs in the context of covert narcissistic behaviors? They may not be glaringly obvious. Look for subtle cues, an underlying tone of superiority, a tendency to belittle or invalidate your feelings, or an excessive need for admiration. You might notice a pattern of passive-aggressive actions, or a consistent lack of empathy. These are all red flags. Being vigilant about these signs can aid in proactive decision-making. Resilience is the armor against distress, but how can one cultivate it? Building emotional resilience starts with self-awareness. Recognize your feelings, validate them, and understand they're a part of you, not your entirety. Practice self-compassion, treat yourself with kindness, and remember, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Affirm your self-worth. You are more than any relationship or situation. Engage in activities that fuel your soul and uplift your spirit. Cultivating emotional resilience is a step towards self-empowerment. Scene script. Support can be a beacon of hope in navigating complex relationships, but where can one find it? When dealing with the intricacies of relationships with Type D narcissists, it's crucial to remember that you're not alone. There's a vast network of help available, waiting for you to reach out. Friends and family can be invaluable pillars of strength in these situations, providing emotional support and a listening ear. But sometimes you may need more than just a sympathetic ear. You might need professional guidance from therapists or support groups. These experts can provide practical strategies and coping mechanisms to manage your relationship dynamics better. They can help you understand the nuances of Type D personalities and how to navigate interactions with them effectively. And remember, seeking help is not a sign of defeat, but a strategy of empowerment. It's about equipping yourself with the tools and resources needed to thrive in challenging circumstances. Remember, seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness.